Hey there, my dealers! Welcome to Toonsday Tuesday's review. I'm your host, DJ, with my co-hosts, Jason and Nancy. Has got to get in and say something real quick.
DJ, I think somebody burgled Nancy. They took her away. Some of them robblers, they stole our Nancy.
Yeah, I would agree. Oh, looks like
See,
they brought her back.
there she goes surprising us. She didn't. She gave them robblers a hurting.
I sure did.
Yeah.
You go, please don't do that.
Okay, so that's
I don't want to walk on your table.
okay. So those two things I need to say with this. So
Spin the wheel cartoon.
hold on and there's two things I need to say before we spin the wheel. One, this wheel is for 2 weeks into the future because we already know what we'll do next week. And since the do what here what so we're doing next week.
The Muppet Show?
Yes, the Muppet Show.
You're so smart. How'd you guess that?
Because I'm the one that came up with it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But yeah, this is for the next time that Jason is on Wills. So, right?
Unless I surprise you and show up next week, but we'll see what happens.
We will see. But in which way? This will be for 2 weeks in the future. And the show we watch then is Rapunzel's Takeover Adventure,
Yay!
which I because I actually tried to take that off, so I'm gonna spin it again because I didn't realize that was still on here, so
Did you know
that's not next week's show. Next week's, the following, the show we're watching is Mobility.
Okay.
So that's what we'll do in 2 weeks, guys. Mobility. So yeah, that's what's gonna be done in 2 weeks. Alright. Now, before we begin our conversation, let me quickly say hello to there's the Buffalo Sue and Pixel Pierre. Good to see all of you. Welcome. Now it's time to talk about tonight's
Come here.
Hmm.
You need to say hello to people because they say hello to you.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad. Hi, Jason. Hi, Uncle Fraggle, Hopping Lipstick Wearing DJ.
The Bug Files and Pia.
Huh?
Say hi, Bug Files.
Bug Files?
Hi, the Bug Files.
Hi, the Bug Files.
And hi, the Pia.
Hi, Pia. Hi, Nightbot.
Hey, Liz. Hey, Sue, and hey, Pia.
Yeah,
Hey.
glad to see y'all. Now it's time to dish out some young justice. So guys, if you haven't been able to tell, we have watched, and now we're gonna talk about Young Justice episodes 1 and 2. And let me just start off with this quote for it. Today is the day. Today's the day. Now, why would I be quoting that? Because it's okay, it's not the first line of the episode. So, I believe the first line was issued by Captain Cold or one of the deep sea space villains, but it's what all the sidekicks of Arrow, who is speaking his flash and Roberts being said, but not all glad for, a committed change. I mean, you would expect him to say it, but he only says it after the battle is over. Oh, man, that was funny to me, at least. But, today, on this day, was the episode title was Independence Day. So it's just a funny reference, honestly. But they all seem that they're gonna be shown to the Justice League headquarters, which free out of the fall of the beliefs. It's just in the Hall of Justice. But, when they walk into this room that the heroes, Batman, Green Arrow, Aquaman, and the Flash are scanned into, they basically bring them to a glorified warrior room with, I will tell you immediately, when I first watched this, I thought, okay, what are they doing? Because I know this isn't their headquarters. But yeah, no, Speedy things up and, tells the other sidekicks that this is a hoax. It's not the real meeting place. It's that they have a $1 trillion space station where they actually conduct business. Now, speaking attempts to get everyone to walk out with him, but they were so brainwashed that they don't. And some people would say, yes, Jackson, I know that brainwash shouldn't be the right term for that, but what else would you call it?
But I think that's a good way to explain it. Even though they weren't actually brainwashed, they've really bought into everything. So for them, the difference is Speedy went there. He already knew that where they were going wasn't the headquarters because his mentor, Green Arrow, had actually told him prior to that, oh, yeah, we've actually got a space station in the Hall of Justice. There's a teleporter that takes them to the actual headquarters. Right?
Yeah.
And he was expecting that. He was expecting they were going there. And instead, so in the Hall of Justice, where they were admitted into, the only difference between where they were at and then what regular people could go and view was they were now kind of like a zoo exhibit. They were like in the lobby of the Hall of Justice, and above them were these windows. People could walk around this hallway and look down and look what's going on in that lobby. So really, it turned them into like zoo animals, right? And that was Speedy's problem. He was like, the only difference is where you're sitting at and who's looking at who. So he was really upset, where the others were still, they were like, well, okay, but for them, they didn't know there could have been something else until that moment, and they were still starstruck is probably better than brainwashed, right? Because, they really look up to their mentors, and today is the day that they got to go to the headquarters, even though they never actually went. So
that's kind of what I was attempted to say is starstruck, because as we all know, the Justice League monster saved, but that's my encore of great superheroes, and they do great work protecting the Earth from the alien and other threats that plague the planet. But, as for the Justice League, the pause for the Watchtower, and, speaking abruptly leaves, there Robin, Kid Fresh, and Aqua Boy, who I believe I'm naming right, is Hey Son. It's
Victor.
Yeah, Hey Victor, and they were sitting there discussing like you know, why didn't we question that? But yet, why didn't we leave with Spirit when he was attempting to tell us the truth? Now, I pass by this part because, I would focus on the main story, but the, the Justice League gets a call, well, two calls, one from Superman talking about how Project Cameras is on fire, and for life of me, I forget this guy's name. Is it the not the hair? That's something else. Uh, you know who I'm talking about, right, Judge?
I'm trying to figure out which part you're referring to. Are you talking about one of the heroes or villains or?
Uh, okay, I'm talking about one of the heroes when, okay, remember the part where Superman is on this big, big video call telling them about the camera's problem,
Uh-huh.
but they also get another call from someone else.
Was it Martian Manhunter?
It might have been, yeah.
Possibly. It might have been him. I'm trying to remember that particular because, like you said, there was a lot of things going on in that one little spot.
Yeah, that is one day. It was right before the heroes went through the Zeta tube to the tower. Now, do you remember what I'm talking about here?
I know what you're talking about because they were the young guy was arguing with them about them being lied to, and at the same time, Superman came up on the screen, and then while Superman's there, they get another call. I'm like you, I can't remember the call, but it was Martian Manhunter and this guy that was standing beside him, and they were talking about which one was more important. And Superman says, well, the fire department's already been called out to Canvas. And they said, well, we'll need to go deal with this other situation. Told the young ones to stay there and don't move, don't go nowhere, and we'll be right back.
It
Alright,
was Martian Manhunter and Red Tornado.
Yeah.
okay. I
Hey,
couldn't remember, so, yeah.
And
But,
then,
yeah, that happened, and, the likable sidekicks decide, hey, why did we go to that camera's call and show the league that we can be heroes too?
now,
Now,
DJ, I'm going to stop you for 1 second because I want to make a comment because
okay,
it's similar to what where you're at. If DJ was a member of Young Justice, okay, and because of where we're currently at and what kind of happens next, he would be Robin because
yes.
Robin is always hacking stuff.
okay, this is where I will agree with you. Because, yes, Robert has the Justice League appeal to find out about cameras, but to be fair, it was literally the same system as the Batcave, so he knew how to get around Batman's security measures. So,
Goodness, Dad.
sorry that does.
Oh my, yeah, I just saw that. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, no, it's the whole cameras eventual. They think, oh, it's a two-story building on fire, but they come to realize as still investigating and all that there was actually 52 levels to 52 sub-levels underneath this building, which, I mean, when you folks hear that, you're like, what? 52 sub-levels of a building? Now, granted, they're in, like, central US where that could be possible. I mean, not just that I'm saying, like,
But
down here in Florida, you wouldn't see anything like that.
now I'm going to say, DJ, I'm not saying it's not possible. Yes, it's very possible. But the honest truth is, anybody who buries anything 52 sublevels below a building, they is up to no good. Clearly some type of secret agency, and they're doing some shenanigan style stuff that nobody should be doing. Mm-mm. Nothing good happens. It's like your mama always said, nothing good happens after midnight. Nothing good happens 52 sublevels below a building.
Yeah, and we will get to what happened at sub-level 52 soon, but we're not there yet. Now, kind of getting away from all psychic heroes for the moment, we hold on. Okay, not me. Okay, so we're taken into the lab of, I want to say Dr. Cole, but that most seems like a Spider-Man reference that I don't want to go there. So, Jason, do you remember the doctor's name?
It was something. It was something similar to that.
Okay, because I mean, you totally said that I don't want to go down the whole Dr. Connell's rabbit hole with Spider-Man. So,
There
but
ain't nothing wrong with the Dr. Connor Spider-Man rabbit hole. I'm just saying.
I know, but I mean, MCU, DCAU, yeah, kind of does it miss?
I mean,
But
I can tell you the name of. I can tell you his other name, but I
the
won't go there right yet.
oh yeah, no, I know what you'll go through. And now, w- now we arrive at the doctor where he's walking on this berserker serum. And now, guys, this is where I say remember that name forever. Just keep the word berserker in your mind.
DJ, do you mean Blockbuster?
Yeah, but say you. Where did I get berserker from? Yes, Buffalo. I I swear I'm making all the wrong references today.
I was about to say you're in Marvel Land tonight, buddy.
Yeah, no, I mean,
DJ
but,
did not want to be talking about Young Justice. He wanted to be talking about the New Mutants.
uh, yeah, no. But also remember that for that reason. Now, we come back, we took the doctor and his lab assistant, who is a xenomorph alien, and they find out that, we have intruders, like, and he says something to that and say, like, you know, I don't want the Justice League to get involved, so deal with it. Meaning, take cover and, you know, destroy them. Y'all know what I mean by that, but y'all know who's terrible also. I'm not gonna say the old one, but yeah, destroy. And, make sure that they don't find out about Project Chaos on level 52. And, now, all heroes, they sneak around and they get caught by. Now, this is where I'm gonna use the laptop. A mind controlled guardian who is one of the heroes who is working for security for cameras. I mean, heroes need a little extra money too. So, yeah, why not be a security guard who is mind controlled? But anyway, so, he he goes says, oh, Robert, Uncle Lad, not Uncle Boy, Uncle Lad, and his plus, let's call the Justice League and give us also the at which it's not what the trio wants to happen, so they book it out there and the GMO name on goes right shoulder. Mine knows it to chase after them and protect the secret of cameras. Now, I will stop here and allow one of the teachers to continue where I left off, but just remember Blockbuster is important, so yeah. Who wants to go?
I'll let Jason have the floor. This is his week.
Okay. So, and I'll probably miss a little bit because I got a confession to make. This was one I started watching it, and I am currently on like episode number 14. And I had plans on going back and watching episodes 1 and 2 before tonight, but I just got real busy today. So I remember a lot of it, but to be able to pick up exactly where DJ was at, the way he was doing it, I'm gonna be a little rusty. But so DJ, I'm probably gonna jump to a couple of spots here, and you can just shame me for it. So from where DJ left off at, and the Guardian was chasing after him, and there was actually a little bit more of a conversation that was happening where when he first saw the sidekicks, and Robin's like, oh hey, it's the Guardian, right? Because they knew each other, so they were talking a little bit, and then they noticed like all of a sudden he changed his tune because the Xenonome was mind controlling him and telling him, like, making him forget some of the things he was remembering, because he was like, oh yeah, I'm the security here, I work security. And then the Xenoname started messing with his memory a little bit too. And because they were like questioning Luke, why is there like all these sub levels? And they had already ran into some of the xenomorph creatures earlier. And they were like, something's severely wrong here. It's like, no, it's fine. So anyway, they ended up going into the chase, like DJ was saying, and they made their way down to 52. DJ, if you don't want me to jump to that, you're gonna have to nudge my memory on what happened from where you left off down to sub-level 52, because you know what I'm about to talk about if I go there.
Yeah, well, let me just say, before they get to 52, they do explore a few levels deep, but Robin does his head good and finds that those Project KR on sub-level 52, and they're like, if it's that deep, we need to check it out and see what's going on. Now, Jason, go ahead and talk about sub-level 52.
So they get down to sub-level 52, and they follow the schematics that Robin had downloaded when he hacked it, and they make their way to Project KR. And when they enter Project KR, they see a being in a tube. And this being, they just look at it and they were like, that looks like a Superman. And so what it turns out is Project KR, Cadmus had made a clone of Superman. And above that tube, there were 3, not 1, not 2, 3 of those mind-controlling genomes. and they had been feeding his brain, so he had never actually ventured out of that tube. He never actually had any kind of life. He had been in that tube as he was growing with these genomes teaching him stuff, pumping his mom with stuff. And so yeah. DJ, do you want to make any comments about that? Do you have any input on that? Or Nancy, do you have any input about that particular area?
I just thought it was interesting, like you said, that it was 3 instead of 1, because they were making him as a weapon more so than anything else. So it's like it makes me think of Captain America in a way, but not as far as them mind. That would be more mind control, because they were telling him what to do and everything, and who's the enemy, and I guess, and who's not. But I think it was just interesting that all they took was the DNA from Superman to clone.
Now, I would add in this small detail because I believe it's discoverable by Robin that he's only 16 weeks old. So, I mean, guys, if you think about it, this clone is, just at like 4 months old. So,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, and the 3 genomes, they were using those 3 to speed up the process of teaching him and him learning things and kind of, feeding into what they want him to think and know and do.
Yeah.
And they did a lot in that 15 weeks.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
But then
Honestly, DJ, remind me if I'm wrong, but I think right about here is when episode 1 ends.
Yes, this is where episode 1 ends, and now we go into episode 2 of, the whole how they get it out of cameras with KR was so called KR because, well, if you remember, they don't really allow the name they give him to the end of the episode.
And the reason why the project was called Project KR, and they did it kind of like the periodic table, because that was a periodic name for Krypton.
Yes.
Plutonium. And yeah. So where episode 2 picks up at, basically or matter of fact, might have been where 1 was ending and 2 was picking up.
Yep.
The sidekicks decided, hey, we got to help him. We got to rescue him. Right? And at this point in time, now that they've made their way in there, the doctor and all the xenomorphs knew where they were at. Like, when Robin hacked and he was accessing the files, the doctor knew exactly where he was going. Right? They called on to it. They got an alert. So they were sending, units down there to get them. And that's where the doctor was saying dispose of them. And as a matter of fact, what they said they were going to do is we'll capture them, make clones of them, destroy the old ones, and then what they were going to do was implant the clones into the Justice League or to the mentors, right? To make them like the perfect and da-da-da-da-da. and that way they could program them to say and do what they wanted to. That was going to be their plan.
Yeah. Now, I will say that, once they open the container, their thought process is, okay, good, he's gonna be on outside, but when reality hits hard and Project KR knocks them out. So, I
Yep.
mean, really, yeah.
And that's where you got to remember, he was truly brainwashed. When DJ was talking about brainwashing earlier, he was brainwashed, but more in the sense of it's all he ever knew. Right? This was
Yeah.
the first time he really ever opened his eyes. First time he actually saw other people, and he had been programmed that basically when he came to, it was like almost like a caveman instinct to like someone's in my territory, I got to defend my territory, right? Or more animalistic type. So Nancy, do you have anything to add, or anything you want to talk about around this?
Yeah, because I was gonna say what DJ said. They thought, they got him out, but right before he was let out, those split seconds, the scientists sent the message to the Geodudes things, and that's what sent him the message to fight them. If they had not, if they had written it like differently, and he had gotten out before the message got to him, then he probably would not have fought them as hard. So, yeah,
That's
it's just
right.
like the split
Yeah.
few seconds you can see that makes the difference of how that scene was played out. And then I think I like how um, even though they were fighting, I don't want to say Aqua Boy, but is that who it was?
Aqualad.
Aqualad. Him
Yeah.
and KR start getting a rapport with each other because they both could talk to each other telepathically and everything. So I think that helped as the scenes progressed.
Yeah, but, I mean, do you remember that KR basically told him to not do that because, he didn't trust them yet, and, you know,
Um, I'm sorry, but I don't remember Aqualad being able to telepathically communicate with KR. I remember someone else who's not been introduced to the team yet being able to. Am I not remembering something?
Well,
if I remember like James, I hope I do.
I mean, I could just be forgetting. Like I said, I've seen a lot of other episodes.
It was right before that the room got rushed by the Geo guys. Big bulky, basically trying to reassure him that, hey, we're gonna protect you, all that, but because KR, I really want to call him his name, but
Well, now you can right now in the episode, the sidekick started calling him Superboy or Soupy,
yeah,
right? So you can refer to him as that for now if you want.
okay, good, because, yeah, now, And just to make the correction clear, KO is Superboy is KO. In one we say we're referring to the same character. So, yeah, I mean, Superboy wasn't trusting of the sidekicks yet, and yes, to Jason's point, there was a mysterious voice that communicated with him that basically guided them out of trouble. Now, this is where Robin does more of his hacking because the doctor thinks they don't know about the motion sensors they have as well, including the air ducts, but and they go chasing them down, but come to find out it's a wild goose chase. Like, really, they don't know what they do. They were following the geonomes that came out of the air duct, but they thought it was the full three sidekicks and Superboy.
And
But
see, and this supports everything I was saying earlier about if DJ was in Young Justice, he would be Robin because every time he mentions Robin doing his hacking thing again, look at DJ's face. He lights up. Every time he talks about Robin hacking something, he's like, Robin's doing his hacking thing. Woo!
okay, we all know like computers, so of course I would be excited about that. And no, I'm not hardcore Jason, that's all you. But no, I mean, the Psychics and Superboy thought they were scot-free, trying to find a way out up to level 1, sub-level 1. They got to about sub-level 15, I believe. Well, the doctor caught up with them, and he decides, enough GMOs. I have something that would stop this. And then, like, Doc Clark and Spider-Man, he drinks up the blockbuster serum and becomes this big hulking monster. I mean, like, dude, this guy could probably give Red Tornado a run for his money on the side he is. So, yeah. Now, obviously, the Cyclops and Superboy feel like they're calm because they basically they know what to do, but then it's Robin who comes up with a plan and basically tells everyone take down in I believe it was these 4 pillows and everything came down on the doctor, basically trapping him, and you know the league shows up and they take off Blockbuster Monster. Not talking about the video, so but they take the Blockbuster Monster off to, let's say, one of the prisons they, take them to. I can't remember the specific one they normally use.
Was that Belgrave?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm
I know that's where the villains from the beginning of episode 1, they ended up at Belgrave.
okay.
I can't remember if that's where they took Blockbuster or not, because that's like one of their maximum hold prisons for villains.
Yeah, but and they have another one
I can't remember
with,
the name of that one.
yeah, that's the one I'm trying to recall because it's where the Flash takes most of his bad guys. So, yeah. But unless they take him off the entire Justice League, the shuts down and Batman gives them the right at. Right, you should have done this. It was against League procedure and rules, and this was totally wrong for you to do. But good job! So, yeah, they get told off, but they do get the accolades at the end. So, yeah.
So I got to correct what I said a minute ago. I said Belgrave, and that's incorrect. It's Bellreve, Belle space Reve.
Okay.
And I looked it up, and supposedly that is where they took Blockbuster 2.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I was trying to think of one, but
That's the
yeah.
same prison that Nancy broke out of.
But
Sorry,
I
I had to
mean,
make you smile. She was looking too serious down there.
but anyways, like, they canvas cameras, and then we see the basically the golden boy of the Justice League, Superman, descend down from above and basically stonewalls Superboy, not wanting anything to do with him at all because, again, he is a clone and hypothetically his own father. So Superman doesn't know how to react to have another Kryptonian.
Superman was like, "Nope, I'm not the daddy. I'm out. Peace."
Yeah.
I mean, and every time any episodes going down the road, like for at least to where I'm at, Superman, like he comes around, Superboy's there, he's like, "I'm out, peace." Like the minute
Yeah.
he sees him, he's like, "Nope, nope, nope, nope."
Yeah, no, he seems like, nope, I'm not doing it, not mine, he's not my sidekick.
I'm not paying that child support, baby. I'm out.
But yeah, guys, I mean, just the whole ending of episode 2 to where, you know, the Justice League of Delta, like, hey, we realize that we need a covert, untraceable team for sensitive missions, and you know you're gonna be based here at Mount Justice, and you know Black Canary will handle the trailer right tornado feel Golden and I, Batman, will deploy you on your mission. And then we meet a final character, Miss Martian, Martian Manhunter's niece, who, I will say this, quickly develops feelings for Superboy by changing whole outfit to mimic his. So,
Oh, she fell hard and quick. She saw him. She was like, "He got daddy issues. He's mine now."
yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, this episode and these 2 episodes, you know, great writing, great animation, and you know, there was stuff that, I mean, I would tweak a little bit. I mean, in my opinion, it would have been nice to see a clip, a snippet of Miss Martin at the beginning, like, oh, she appears, but John Marshall Hunter tells her to go home, and that kind of leads up to her review of joining the team at the end. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's stuff like that, little details that actually would have made it better. Now, I have to pose this question to Jason because I need to freaking know, what did you not like about this?
Okay, so for any of these that I've been on, y'all know that there's always something that gets to me. I always find something that I'm like, oh. Now for this, it really it wasn't. It's got to do with the animation, but I don't have a problem with the animation itself. I have a problem with what they have. I personally think for this to be Young Justice, they did not do one of the characters proper justice. And I realize that he's a sidekick and he's younger, but personally, I think they did Kid Flash, they did him wrong. They did him so wrong. And I say that because in the few scenes in episode 1 and episode 2, number one, they never really, his power, he's like Flash, his power is speed. And for the few times where he actually utilized his speed, the animation they did for his speed did look like he was not even running as fast as like a regular person would run. They did not do the animation justice. There needed to be more of a blur or more of a zip, like literally he's here and then he's over here. They did nothing like that. He was like, if everybody else was walking like this, his speed was like that, like a mall walker. They had his animation like he was a freaking mall walker.
Yeah.
They did not do him justice. I mean, yet granted, he's not Barry, he's Wally. But Wally is still fast. He's still a Flash. He is faster than what any regular person can move. Give him proper animation. Now, like I said, I'm already in episode 14 of the first season, and this has gone back and forth. There have been a few blips here and there where I was like, that's how you do it, where they did him justice. And I don't think it was because it's gone backwards some too. I don't think they're trying to show him being like, less than Flash. I just think they poorly executed the animation of his power. And they could have done a much better job than that. And I'm hoping further into the seasons that they do him more justice. I actually know quite a bit about that character, Kid Flash, aka Wally West. And they have not done him justice at all. Now, I do think it's funny, though, because this also came in, DJ, at the end of episode 2, I believe, a little bit, where they showed Miss Martian falling for Superboy, but just as hard as she was falling for him, Kid Flash was falling for her. He was like, hey, baby. I mean, it was like instant. He was like, oh, yeah, we got a girl on the team? She mine.
No, I mean, it's that classic love triangle, but, Superboy doesn't visibly show or have any emotions towards Miss Martian.
Well, and that's something that he hadn't really learned yet.
Yeah.
Right? He was only 15 weeks old, and they were programming, like DJ said earlier, he was being programmed to be a weapon. So there's a lot of stuff about being more human-like in the emotions that he has to learn that wasn't there. So when she's like falling for him, he probably seemed really cold to her because he's just like, so like it was nothing. Like there was no. I mean, like they showed like she was blushing, like there was all the signs. And a regular person, if they were into her, they would have flirted back, or if they weren't into her, they would have been like, yeah, whatever. Like they would have brushed her off. And he was just like emotionless because he doesn't know that emotion yet.
Yeah.
Love. He didn't know love.
Yeah. Now I will say this: the whole, Superboy plot in itself is a good one because it basically we have a blank slate that built him up from, and I hate using this term, but from a zero to a hero. I mean, he's basically woken off. I've been mind control for the past 15 weeks. I don't know what, and
Right.
I need people to teach me what I need to know. So, yeah.
And this is where if Superman would have just owned up and taken him under his wing, that
Yeah.
the entire Justice League could have benefited better. Because now, DJ, in episode 2, any at all, did they go over any of his limitations of powers, or was that all episode like 3 and beyond? Nancy, do you remember anything about that?
No, there was something episode 2. He's okay. The thing about Cyborg is, yes, he can jump a building in a circle, but he can't fly. Now I'm gonna put a asterisk on that and say he can't fly yet.
And also at that point, this might be a season 3 thing. And I mean, not season 3, episode 3 thing. And if it is, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it.
Okay?
He also does not have the heat vision. So
Yeah.
at this point in time, he's unable to do the laser eye things like Superman does.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that worried like the sidekicks when they were rescuing him. They were like, we don't want you to like fry us, right? They were so afraid that he was going to like activate the eyes and just wipe them out.
Yeah. But he openly made the comment like, "Oh, I don't have laser eyes, so I guess my only option is to join you." So, yeah. But no, I mean, these 2 episodes, together, I rate them, combined a 10 because they tell a whole story from beginning to end, and I didn't feel like there was any plot holes that could develop in the future from these 2 episodes alone. Now, plot holes from 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, that can come back to bite it, but 1 and 2, minus the Wild West speed, I don't see much wrong terms of plot. So, yeah.
So what about you, Nancy?
I like the part. All right, after the fight scene when they let Kate Superboy out and everything, and they were talking to him. That's how kind of more they made a rapport with him because they were talking about he was like he's never seen anything. And they're like, we'll show you the sun and we'll get you to meet Superman. And he was like really excited because he wanted to see the outside and everything.
Hmm.
When they actually got out, they go, "Well, we promised you the moon, and there's the moon," and and then they turn around, and then here comes Superman. So I thought that was pretty cool that he, knew then that they were going to do what they say they were going to do for him. And then at the end when they were getting reprimanded and everything, Aqualad stands up and says, "No, you're not treating us like that. We done proved ourselves and fighting Catamus and defeating it and everything that we quite capable of, taking care of situations and everything." And that's when they decided, well, we need somebody here to sit there and go on missions undercover, being undercover because they're teenagers. They would blend right on in and nobody would ever think anything. And that's how they really got into the Justice League. So that's the parts I like. They finally took a stand and said, "No, we've trained, we've proven our training, and this is what we can do, and we done showed y'all we can do it."
Yeah, but
That's what I liked.
I do think it's important to note, and Jason, you might agree with me on this, but they're not officially a part of the Justice League. They're just getting their missions from the League. They're their own separate team, and I hate to say this, but they're the better versions of the Teen Titans. I hate saying that, but it's
So
true.
yeah, and DJ, I was about to say the same thing. So they're not officially a part of the Justice League. And actually what happened was they said we're going off and doing our own thing. They're like, you know what? We like Nancy, like you were saying, we've proven ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
They were leaving, they were forming their own team. And that's when like Batman and them stepped in and said, okay, look, they're gonna do this anyway. We could use you. Right. So let us help you get set up and we're gonna give you Red Tornado, who's going to oversee things, kind of like be their watchdog, their guardian.
Yeah,
And then they would get their missions from Batman, but they wanted the missions. And the challenge was their missions, like Nancy was saying, supposed to be covert, right? Supposed to be more stealthy, and it also helps them develop those kind of skills too. They're
yeah,
supposed to keep things under the radar. They're not, initially Justice League didn't want them going in and like starting fights. They want them to get in, sneak in, do what they got to do, and get out.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It never really happens like that.
yeah, and that's kind of why I'm saying that they're the better from Teen Titans, because I mean, if you're familiar, not to go into Teen Titans, but the first team that I know of is Robin, Cyborg, Survival, Raven, Beast Boy. That's the first team I know of that officially goes up to be their own team and do their own mission. The Young Justice Hill, they're not on their own entirely. They operate as a leg of the Justice League, but they do not have full or any Justice League status whatsoever. So,
Yeah, like
yeah,
they still can't. They can't get to the Justice League headquarters. Like they don't have that access. They have their own headquarters, their own area. So yeah, Nancy, what would you rate the episodes?
I'd still give them like a 9 because I mean, you look at the times that they have, with all the animation that was going on, because you know we see things progress over the years and everything. So it came out what 19.
2010.
It came out
yeah,
2010. So
2010.
they were doing a lot of CG stuff and everything, and getting. I think that's when all that has started and everything. So I thought it was still pretty good. I mean, it's not like when you watch the old ones now and you can actually tell the difference between
Yeah,
them all.
yeah.
It's awkward looking and everything. So I thought I'd give it a 9. I like it. I,
Nice.
Okay,
one of the favorite characters. Well, one of my favorite actors did the voice of one of the characters in the show. So that's one reason I like it.
which one is that?
George Eads did the Flash.
Nice. Yeah.
All right. So for me, I wanted to do like DJ. I wanted to give these first two episodes a 10, but I can't. The injustice they did to Wally West, sorry, to
Right.
Kid Flash, they're not getting more than a 9. Right? I would love to give them a 10, but it really, that little part just really, really,
Yeah.
really hurts me. It just
Yeah.
Because I saw
No.
that too. Especially in the beginning when they're starting to be fighting all these other people that came in, and they're supposed to be, he's supposed to be going on this guy fast, and all of a sudden he does something, and then Flash comes and takes. I'm like, well, where's the fun in that?
you know,
You can let the kid do the thing he's supposed to be doing.
it's not like he just got his powers. This is not an origin story for him, right? He's been a sidekick for the Flash, who is his uncle or
Yeah.
cousin.
I think it was something.
Your cousins, right?
No, I, I don't think there's
They're
any.
related. They're related.
Well, yes, because I think that Wally eventually, like, you know, marries, like, Iris and, gets related that way, but I don't. What do you say next?
He's a nephew of the Flash.
Okay, nephew. Cool. But now I will say this, and I'm teasing Jason with it, but Young Justice technically has more of the voice speech for.
But so real quick, something else I wanted just to include. One thing I do like about the series overall. So originally, like Nancy said, this came out in 2010. Originally, this was on the Cartoon Network, and it was a 30-minute cartoon. So
Yeah,
now, when you're watching it on a streaming episode, the episodes are only about somewhere between
20.
22 and 24 minutes.
Yeah,
And they actually do a really good job of telling the stories within that short time frame. And it's nice because what happened when I was watching it, I blinked and I was on like episode number 5, and I'm like, oh, right.
yeah,
It went by really fast. And it's, especially nowadays when some of the things that we're watching 45 minutes to an hour or an hour plus when it was made for streaming services, you can sit down and you can get through an episode and stop that episode. They do a pretty decent job of tying the episodes off so it's not really bad, like cliffhanger, sitting on the edge of your seat. Most of the episodes tell most of a story, or at least to a point. There's a couple of them, like episode 1 and 2, where they were kind of tied together.
Yes.
And it referenced back to a lot of things as well. But as they start going forward, there's a lot of episodes that is like about a particular mission or a particular thing, and you kind of get through that mission. So if you wanted something that you could sit down and like, hey, I've got an extra 30 minutes, you can sit down and use 24 minutes to get through an episode.
Yep.
Have time left over. You can pause it, go do what else you got to do, and then come back to it later that night or the next day. If you wanted a quick show to watch and something enjoyable and you love cartoons, this is a perfect one to check out.
Yeah.
Especially if you love heroes.
And now I will say this. It's also good if you actually want to binge it and, really get into it. And, I mean, it's about, 22, 24 episodes long? Yeah, so, I mean, guys, honestly, you could probably binge this in a few days, or, if you really have the time. I know Jason would if he could, but sit down for a whole weekend and
realistically, in my opinion, I think each season is a weekend binge.
yeah,
Especially where you're not going to like burn yourself out and you're actually going to take a few breaks. You're going to get some food. You're going to get up and stretch your legs.
yeah, no,
I think realistically, you're probably looking at like a good 2 days, 2 to 3 days per season.
yeah, like, I mean, you could realistically do one season a week and be done by the end of the month, honestly. I mean, guys, if this show was only once a month, which I can tell you, we will never get to this point, but if it was, that would give me and Jason enough time to talk about the whole series. But, yeah.
I just did some quick math.
Okay.
You can watch the first season in about 10 hours. So
yeah.
you could definitely get through it, but I mean, like I said, you could probably get through 2 seasons in a weekend.
Yeah.
I think the binge, like all of it, to get up to current, you wouldn't want to do that in a weekend. If you could, that's you probably could, but you're going to be a zombie. You're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think to make this enjoyable, if you do like a season a weekend or do a season over the course of a week, watch so much of it and just take your time, because there's actually quite a bit going on, and I just think to make it enjoyable, take your time with it. They're short episodes.
Yeah.
I'm already on episode 14, and I started watching it Friday, I think it was.
Yeah.
Friday or Saturday. So I mean, as you can see, sorry, DJ.
It was Friday because remember, I called you on Saturday and you were already on 10.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I think I actually started watching it maybe Thursday. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I first started watching it, like I blinked and I went through like probably 5 or 6 episodes. And then I think Saturday I ended up watching, 2, 3, or 4 episodes. And since then I'm on the 4th episode since then. Like I've not finished 14 yet. I'm somewhere in the middle of 14. I'm going to start it back over. I didn't stop for some reason. But but yeah, so if you look at it like that, I'm about halfway through the first season, and I just started watching it back on Fridays. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it enjoyable. I'm not sitting there and just binging it and binging it, which I don't really have time to binge it. But I've still gotten halfway through a season, even with my schedule the way it is.
Yeah.
So it's nice that it's not going to take me forever to get through the first season. So yeah, I'm loving it. I really do enjoy this series. I will be watching this series all the way through to the end. I had to promise DJ that I would still work on watching the Dragon Prince, but I'm going to be watching this pretty hard.
Yeah, no, I mean, guys, like, seriously, it might be a month or so before he even touches the Dragon Prince. I'm not putting a daylight on Jason at all, but I'm gonna say this. I would definitely want to talk about the whole 5 seasons before season 6 comes out, and he knows that if we wait till season 6, I'm already a whole season ahead of him, so yeah. And I saw someone say, where did she go? I guess no one's there.
Nancy, do this. Oh, that didn't help.
Yeah, no. Okay, guys, so I think let me ask this for, do you guys have any more you want to say about this show to wrap it up?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yes, I do. So for me to wrap it up, if you like cartoons and superheroes and stuff, and honestly, I am more of a Marvel fan than I am DC. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
Yeah.
Like DC characters that I love, but I am more of a Marvel fan. I'm going to watch this all the way through. I've always been meaning to. I've seen like some episodes here and there back before it was streaming, but I never really had the time back in the day to be able to be in front of the TV when it would come on at so and so time this day of the week. My kids used to watch it all the time. My daughter's and this is where I know quite a bit more about Wally West. She's a huge Wally West fan. Like I'm a huge Wally West fan. She actually dressed up as Wally West for Halloween one year.
Nice.
She's a big Wally West fan, and so yeah, I just never got to really sit down. And now that it's out there, it's available. And that's the one thing I love about doing these reviews with you, DJ and Nancy, is it helps remind me of some of the things like, oh yeah, I've been wanting to watch that. So
yeah,
it helps kind of light that fuse for me to get back into some of these shows.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not talking for James or Nancy here, but I feel like for Jason, it does jog his memory of, oh yeah, I wanted to check that out. For Nancy, for at least this one in particular, I feel like it's, oh, I didn't know this was out there, but I'm getting exposed to it now. Would that be accurate for both of you?
Oh yeah, because when it came out, I had gotten hurt, so I was home. So that's what we watched. We watched the cartoon stuff and everything.
So
And
basically, what I just heard Nancy, you saying, no, DJ, you're wrong. Because you were watching this back when it came out, correct?
yes,
So DJ,
but
you
we
were
had
wrong.
to wait for. But we had to wait. It wasn't
Right,
where
right.
you could watch it now. You got
Yeah,
one episode, and then you had to wait for the next one to come out.
yeah, no, but you know what I've said, and this is where it goes to a no answer that Jason and I agree on is, you know, you knew about it, you watched it, but, you know, it was that week to week format and not, it's not like you discovered it for the first time.
Yeah, because that's what DJ was saying about you, Nancy. He was saying he was figuring this was probably you finding out about it because of the show. Where for you it was more like me. It was kind of oh yeah, I want to watch some more of this. I watched some of it a while back. I want to get back into it. So you fall into that same category he was putting me in for this one.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
yeah, and I think a few years ago, I think it was when we had Hulu or something. I know um they've shown Anastasia this also, but I mean, we've done that. We just sit there and put one of them on and just binge watch it 3 or 4 hours.
yeah, I got
And,
you. Now,
um,
alright. And for me, I mean, I grew up on it. I watched Cartoon Network, you know, every day as a kid. I watched this on the weekends. It came on. I could, but I will say this, and I can't find it anywhere. There is a show that I don't think Jason or Nancy knows of, called The Secret Saturdays, that I would be interested in cover. Now,
not heard of that.
okay. So, yeah, I mean, we will wait for Jason to come back to get his input on that, but I mean, yes, overall, both episodes I won't give 10, but, you know, I rated them separately. You know, I rate, like, episode 1 a 4. Not that it's bad, it's just that
Extra part.
if episode 1 is the only one you watched, that introduces you to the character, then I have a feeling like, you don't know that well. Episode 2 is a solid 6 because it carries the back half of episode 1, and it's just the more impactful episode of the 2. Now, that's how I rate it, and allow me to accept my culture. I do not know if you heard Jason, but have you heard of a show called The Secret Saturdays?
The Secret Saturdays?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I don't know if I've seen any of it, but I have heard of it.
Okay. Yeah, hey, district, whatever. Huh.
Hey, David.
But, yeah, no, I just wanted to put that out there. But, I mean, that's all really what I have to say for tonight. So, do y'all want to say your goodbyes, and I will do mine at the
Jason, you not ready to say goodbye?
I miss you already.
I miss you more.
I
Yeah.
miss you, Jason.
Bye, Anastasia. I miss you more.
I miss you most.
I'll let you.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
You too.
Good night, Jason. Good night, everybody in chat. Good night, Uncle Fraggle. Hopping lipstick wearing DJ.
Yeah, good night, Lipstick DJ.
Funny.
Good night,
Yeah,
Anastasia.
yeah, guys,
Nancy.
thanks for watching. Have a great night, and we will see you here again on the Tuesday Toon review. Bye, guys.